Get on there. Get on there now. Finally, we're going to probably tackle the wiring harness. Finally. Here's the old. Probably going to utilize some of the plugs. Don't need that. Probably going to utilize some of the plugs off of this, and I'm going to test the original headlight switch if it still works, and utilize the plug off of it. It's still got some good parts on it. All the headlight sockets and all that are still good, so probably reuse a lot of that. Plus the bulkhead going through the firewall, I'd like to utilize that. Here's the new harness. Let's see. There's headlight plugs. It's just a cheap Amazon harness. It's perfect enough for what we're doing. It's a 12 circuit. Plenty of circuits to add later on if I want to add anything. Let's get it out of the package. A good bag for something. All right. We'll find a spot to mount this thing, but start getting it all laid out how we want it. Yeah, it's pretty nice for pretty cheap harnesses. I mean, they're pretty decent. I like them. So that's what's in my other car. Same exact harness. I ain't had no problems with it. Work as they should. This looks like the dash piece right here. Part that goes in the dashboard. Yeah, we'll get it all laid out. Get the fuse panel mounted in the car. But I might get sidetracked because I get sidetracked real easy. May go ahead and prep this dash and everything and get it ready for paint. I think I want to paint the dash. Go ahead and get that over with. Be done with that part. Be easier with the windshield out, but I'm not doing that right now. I'm just going to paint the dash. I got all of it taken apart, taken apart. Just sand it down, hit it with some color, clear it, and then mount the wiring harness fuse panel in. I've got to cover these seats up with something because they're going to get destroyed. If they're taken back out, one, but then I got to store them somewhere, so that's another problem. So probably just going to leave them in here for time being. The goal is to just get the harness in enough right now where I can spin the motor over and get the motor running under its own power where I can move the car. Still got to do the shifter. I put a drive shaft in it, but it's a little short. So I got to pull it back out, take the yoke off, put it on another shaft that I got that's a little bit longer. I think it'll fit perfect. Do that. And really, that's really it. Just to get it moving under its own power. I still ain't got no brakes. So that would come in a later time. But just to be able to put it around the front yard or the backyard here, just to move it around, it'd be good enough. That's what we're after. And then I can finalize a lot of the stuff on the interior. And I'm surprised I still got almost all the hardware, original hardware for the dash, and it's all in really good shape. I cleaned a lot of it up last night. And the chrome came right back. I get that little emblem off, try not to destroy it, but luckily they reproduced that. This ain't like $18 if I do break it, so I'd like to keep the original one, but I'm gonna try to make the original radio work and all that stuff still in good shape. So probably gonna go to the hardware store. We decided to I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can't get this thing wired up for some starter engine spinach. stuff. So I'm gonna make my own cable. I gotta make a ground cable to the frame from the engine, and then go from the engine to the battery. Then we'll make a cable going to the starter. And then we'll go ahead and mount the fuse panel and get the wire somewhat run and figure out if my key switch is gonna work. I'm gonna go ahead and make these wires up. Getting about time to stop back up on my wire and stuff. It's getting kind of slack. Make that wire work. Alright, there's that. I'm gonna put this one right about there, and probably go to the engine mount itself. I'll probably just loop it back up under there and eyelet it to the engine mount, and that portion will be grounded. So I'll put that in there. Oh, I gotta get some heat shrink on this before I do all that. Try to make it somewhat decent. Getting low on this stuff. I done lost my lighter. Oh, I found it. Slide that up one. Now I done lost. There it is right there. About to say, daggone, I'm losing everything. Put it on there. Maybe this thing's set up right. I hope it is anyway. Got to find out. Come on, get on in there. Get on in there now. This is always the awkward part. Hold your tongue out just right, and give her a good squeeze. There she is. Now it won't let go. It did that time. No injuries happened. And heat shrink that on there and make it look somewhat nice. Be a good day to do some painting, but I really need to get this part done. At least get the motor spinning over with the key. That'd be a feat in itself. It's never done it. Come on, get on in there. Figure out how long I gotta make it. Oh, just kind of. Luckily, the engine mount's already loose. I wonder why. Everything on this damn car's been loose. Oh, come on, get on in there now. Oh. There's that. Cut. Alright, oh my dang. I got the right sizes. How about that? That'll never happen again. Now I gotta finagle the wrenches in there to get this loose. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in there semi-tight. Just a little bit, just tight enough. Oh boy, that was a close one. up on there. Alright, oops. For some of you that don't know, that hole right there goes all the way through the block. And oil pump shaft goes up and down, rides off the camshaft. Well, if you put a bolt in there too long, and if it's just right enough, it'll lock the shaft in place and it won't do the pumping action. But if it's just right where it touches just enough, it'll start making metal shavings and it'll wipe your motor out. You gotta be careful with that. The best thing to do is when you put it in, pull your fuel pump out, make sure that rod's free. But I'm not gonna worry about that, so we're just gonna keep on trucking. Come on, give me the wire. Give it to me now. Come on now. I'm good and plenty long. I don't want to be stretching cables all the time. So give her a good cut right there. Cut it right there. On this side, I got the chintzy little bolt-on style, which I think it'll be fine for what we're doing, what we're after. So there you go. That's tight. It's tighter than all the bolts on the whole car. I'm gonna get a big wrench for that. I'm gonna go ahead and shave this one down. Now, if you're looking for some good battery cable, just do your best bud's jumper cables out of his truck, cutting them up, and use them. Just don't let him know, because then he might get a little mad at you. Let me get something to loosen that up with. Let's see if I grab the wrong size. No, I didn't. Second time today. Every time something good happens, I kind of start ducking. It's like, man, something bad's about to happen. Too much good stuff happening one day, something bad's gonna happen. That's pretty much our ground. I like it. Looks pretty good. Got plenty of cable. So it's gonna be out of the way of everything. I'm gonna kind of snug it up on the battery a little bit. We ain't flopping around. I still gotta build me a strap for the battery. That way the battery ain't scooting all over the place. Alright, now the fun part is making the one for the starter. That's gonna be the fun one. Yeah, and I'm gonna make it out of black wire. That's all I got. I thought about putting some red tape on it or something just to kind of distinguish it. But I really don't give a shit. So I'm gonna probably just run it the way it is. Probably what I'm gonna do. We'll go ahead and connect this one up here. I'll disconnect this before I start running wire down in there and sparking and catching on fire and getting electrocuted and all the fun stuff. So thought you was gonna see that. I'm sorry, you're not. And the engine mount to get started with. Come on now, get all untwisted and stuff. If it'll fit through there. May not. What we got going on? Boy, it's like wide open spaces in there. You would think it'd just go straight through. Maybe I gotta get another injury. Get another stab at her. So we got some P clamps. What I could do is just put some P clamps on it. Probably what I'll do. Just putting in the spark plugs. Man, it's been a long day. Trying to get this thing where it's going to run. I'm sick of pushing this car around. So I'm going to make it run. I ain't do it all in one day, but we're gonna be close. Gotta put the spark plug wires on, and I'm just gonna run the wiring harness enough to where it'll crank, even if it's just running off a gas can. I don't care. We still gotta run all. I'm just going to end up running all new fuel line and all that. Can't get it unclogged. Come on now, get on in there. Boy, all these diesel trucks. I like it. All them diesel trucks going down the road. I tell you. Big old diesel. Boy, I tell you. Yeah, once we get it running, then it'll just be a bunch of tidying up and finishing out the harness for all the lights and all that kind of stuff. Won't be too bad. Still got to pull the drive shaft out, change the shaft itself. The one I got in it's just a bit short, and the slip yoke don't go far enough into the tail shaft of the tail shaft housing, or whatever you want to call it, the transmission. That makes me a bit nervous trying to move it around like that and end up tearing the transmission up. Something stupid happened. Used to have a special wrench for this. You get on in that thing. They don't want you loose now. So get that socket on that one. Socket on that one. I'm gonna check them over there because they might be loose. Knowing me, I can get the socket on that one. No, I cannot because of the steering box. Yeah, we'll double check the plugs on that side. I'm gonna tighten on in there. My damn microphone quit working on me. I don't know what the hell, but whatever. I'm gonna try to get the plug wires on. Had to find them. I couldn't remember where I put them at. I had these on that motor, on this engine before. Had them all nice and tucked in and all purty. And then I took them off because I'm an idiot and put them on another car. And now that car is totally different from what it was when I put these on, and now they're going back on this one. Now I get to clean them up, wipe all the oil off of them, and put them on this motor again. So, yay me. Figured I'd just get them all cleaned up and lay right here. These, like I said, these are the ones that go below the manifolds or headers. So it's gonna be fun. Probably wondering why cars over here in the grass. Well, had to paint a van this morning. Got that painted this morning. Might be a little video on that. I see it after this video comes on. I don't know yet. I ain't made up my mind. So if you see it before this, then you see it. And then if you don't see it before this, then you'll see it after this. So that's all I can tell you. I think it's about time to invest in some new microphones. This one keep going out on me. I don't know what's going on. I just charged this joker too. It's gotta be 5. Boy, that windshield wiper motor really makes it nice. I had to change my microphone. I gotta get some new microphones. These ones I just got. I don't like them. The sound ain't quite right with these. They act like they're too distorted sounding to me or something. They don't pick up the sound very good. So I got plug wires on finally. Still got to zip tie everything out of the way, make sure nothing gets burnt. Make sure everything's out of the way of the clutch. All that good stuff. Make sure everything's out of the way for the gas pedal. I gotta get all that in. Still got quite a ways to go. I gotta get oil gauge in it. That way it ain't shooting oil everywhere. Double check everything underneath. So I gotta get this thing back over to the driveway. Still gotta put valve cover gaskets on it. Yeah. Still got a little ways to go. Okay. Finally, I think I can probably get some wires done on this thing. I got pretty much the headlight harness and the engine harness out, and I just got to get the wires where they need to go, so to speak. And oh man, I've been busy. All right, so now what I got here is the engine harness. And I'm probably what I'm going to do. I've got AC compressor wire. Here comes another diesel truck. Yay! Get on it, boy. Get on that thing. You gonna get on it. I love it. Get on that daggum diesel now. All right. I got compressor wire, fan wire, which I will need. I'm gonna just cut the compressor wire back and kind of just wrap it up in the harness for right now, because eventually I will put AC in the car. So I also got all the electric wires for the like electric sending units, like oil pressure, temp, things like that. For the time being, I'm going to run mechanical gauges, but I'm probably eventually going to upgrade to electric gauges. So I'm going to keep them back in the harness separately, where I can always get back to them when I get ready to change it. Let's see. Now I just got to sort through this harness, get the wires out that I want to use, tuck back the rest, and start routing wires going to where they're going to go. Sounds easy. It ain't too bad. And then one day we'll get to that. One day. One good thing about it, they give you plenty of wire. A little wire here, man, I can wire up another car. I'll probably wire 2 cars in one. Oops. I got my little trash can out here to throw all this in. I'm just going to throw it on the ground because I like picking it up 3 or 4 times before I throw it away. All right, I got that all peeled back. Now I'll sort through here. I'll start laying the wires, which direction they're going to be going towards. I swear, some of this traffic, man. It's like the daggum Pecan Alley 400 through here, man. They get on that turn right there and they just nail it. Wide open. Tape coming undone right there. I don't like that. All right, what wire is this? It's pink wire. What we got? Get out of there. Foil. So that's going to go to the distributor. All right. There's a little, like, factory style wire hanger right there. So I'm going to try to use it. So I want the wires to kind of go up like that and be useful like that. There's another one right there. So I'll probably just tape up, run through there. I'll drop my coil wire down right there. I want to get the wires that are going together. I know there's a tack wire in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and run my tack wire with that wire. We're going that direction, so let's go that direction. So now this big wire, this big red wire, is going to be probably solenoid power. Yep, solenoid power. I'll pull that out, get it out from the mess of wires. You're going to bear with me. My allergies have been killing me. We got this thing in the south called pollen. Y'all may have it where y'all are at, but it's killing me. solenoid. That's going to the starter. Bam. What is this one? So what's nice about these harnesses, they're all labeled. Oil sender. I'll lay that one to the side. Another red wire, probably power. It's alt power, so that's going to alternator. And I'm running a long water pump, so my alternator is going to end up landing over here. So I'm going to let this wire kind of flow over with the distributor wires. That's going to end up coming out of the harness and going straight past them and then coming down this side of the intake. All right, let's see. What did that one say? Yeah. We're going to lay it over there. Come on, where you at? I know you're on there. There you go. Make sure. Choke power. I'm going to let that one ride this way with the alternator. I'd like to have a, don't really need it. Not in here because it don't really get that cold, except for when it does get cold. So, and this is probably alternator exciter wire. I'm going to lay it over here, but I don't know if I'm going to need it. Probably will. And this one is a little faint right there. I can't read it. Ignition switch. So this one's going to go to the ignition side of the starter. That's where the switch tells it to fire. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to probably run. I'm going to cut these wires down and coil them up and just tape them up. And probably just zip tie them somewhere back here. Kind of out of sight, out of mind kind of deal. And then we'll get to them when we get to them. So we'll go ahead and do that. We're just going. You want to leave yourself enough. You don't want to cut it too close to where your harness is all tight and wrapped up. We're going to cut enough so where we can wrap it up, and tape it up real tight, and zip tie it out of the way for right now. All right, let's see. Ernestine wants me to be one with her, so I got to crawl up in here. Move everything out of the way. I'm too fat for this. I'll use my distributor wires. Man, this is awkward. These are my distributor wires. I cut them a little long because I like to have a little bit of play whenever you got to mess with the distributor. I hate it when the wires are real tight and they're hard to plug in and all that mess. So I left these a bit long. I can always trim them down if they're way too long. But right now we're just trying to get everything in the general location and routed. Kind of how I want it to be routed. And you're probably like, man, why didn't he put some loom on that? Well, this is how he did it from the factory. So, loom's kind of a pain in the ass too. I don't like it either. At least with the tape, I can cut it back, peel it, and just retape it if I have to. I didn't put loom on it from the factory. Could make it all Fast and Furious looking and put the blue and red loom all through here. Everything be loomed the same color or whatever. This is back when you can get in there with the engine. I'm probably going to, I think how I want to do it. I don't know why they did the heater wires that way. I'm probably going to end up routing them back through the firewall and keep them on the inside instead of having to run all these different wires. It's just too much. I end up doing that. I don't want to do this. Get all up in there. Or them diesel trucks. Getting into our split here, so put in between the two wires, start making our Y. Like that right there. And we'll start wrapping this way. I'll pretty much wrap this one as far as I can. And we'll drop it down in there and start getting our wires this way. Oops. That's all that roll had. Alright, so that back this way. That's going to come up here. Then we're going to go straight right there. Boys, we got us a harness. Should say boys and girls. Okay, next thing I'm going to try to do here is... Dang, you're going to excuse me. My nose is running. And it is annoying. I'm going to find the dash harness. And go ahead and run my key switch wires. I'm going to go ahead and just run them through this hole right here, I reckon. That way I know. I'm just going to let the key switch kind of hang right now because I want to paint this dash. I can do that and be able to take it off and all that good shit. So whatever. Ignition switch. I'm going to have to cut both of these loose and kind of go through them. I'm going to cut one at a time though. Cut you off right there. Come on now, get in there. There's that. Alright, what is you? Left turn. Yeah, this is my key switch power stuff right here. All this will plug into like a GM style switch, which we're not using the up-to-date switch, we're using old shit. So ignition switch power. So that's what I need. Boy, it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. Ah, we don't want you on there no more. Well, that's just lovely. I gotta cut them wires anyways. What I'm trying to do is trying to get these wires where they're not crisscrossed and all that, because that just, then I'll lose like length. Everything's like intertwined like spaghetti. I don't like it. I want everything to be straight as I can. I'm gonna cut. I need to get my key switch. Look at it. I'm gonna cut these where I still got a little bit of meat on them if I ever have to put them back together. Hopefully not. Let's do that. For testing purposes, I'm just gonna leave this out. I got everything hooked up the way I believe it goes. And like I said, it's just gonna be for testing. Make sure everything's right. And so the next thing I'm gonna do is jack the front of this thing up, get up under it and get the starter hooked up, double check everything on the bottom side. Make sure I ain't got no hole plugs or anything missing. Really ain't no telling what I've done. So in the past couple of years, there's really no telling. So get under there, double check everything. And then move back up to the top side. I gotta throw some gauges in it, or at least an oil gauge. That way I ain't squirting oil everywhere. Hook up the fuel line and the throttle. And we may be firing this thing off for the first time ever. Pretty exciting. All right, this ended up being next day. Had some stuff pop up I had to go do, but figured I'd go ahead and get the valve covers gasketed and put on there. And we're gonna fire this thing up soon, and I don't want a bunch of oil going everywhere. So go ahead and do everything on the top side that we can and get up underneath it. So I'm gonna get these gaskets on here. Put a little poop on it. Hold the gasket in place. A little poop will do you. A little bit. Not out of poop. He's on there. Trying not to make a mess. Boy, we got to stand on them diesels coming off that turn over there. Just to really hold that gasket in place. They've been sitting in a drawer for who knows how long, and they all deformed and everything. Go get my screws. There's one screw right there. Oh, let's knock the gasket off the valve cover before we get it on there. Right. Can't get to it. Gotta go get another tool. Yay. Alright. I'll get up under here and I'm gonna go ahead and put the oil gauge in it. Just running all that stuff on out here. And then get up underneath it. Well, almost had a catastrophic failure. And always run what you know works, because if you try to go a different route, you may end up getting huge issues. And I almost had that huge issue happen to me. I bought these plugs at Summit. Told the guy I was running small block Chevy. I just need a set of plugs. I wanted a decent set of plugs for it. I usually run Autolite 26s. That's what I've always run. Should have just stuck with that. I put these plugs in, spun the motor over. Not paying attention to how long they were, but they smashed the plug. So now I got to put some Autolite 26s in it and hope for the best. Put a camera up in the cylinder, the piston. You can see where it scratched the top of the piston, so I don't think it, hopefully it didn't bust the piston. I could do a compression test on it. Yeah, it really sucks. Get all this work done and a stupid mistake could end the whole project by putting the wrong damn spark plug in your engine. I don't even know what these are for. I had another set of heads. I put these in a head and they just protrude out like, I don't know. This must be for, I don't know. That dude needs to go get a job at Walmart or something and quit selling people the wrong parts. But always double check. If you're going to run something different, always double check or triple check your fitment. And that's where I neglected to do. So I could probably just trashed this engine. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed. Yeah, I found another set of plugs. I had another set of heads. They're Autolite 26s. That's what's supposed to be in there. Look at the difference in the seat from where the seat is to the end of the igniter on the plug. That is stupid. These must be for a lawnmower or something. I don't know. But I'm gonna put these in and hope for the best since I have them, instead of going and spending money on new plugs. And I should just do a compression test, but I kind of just want to hear it bark off and hope for the best. I don't know, but that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna slam these in and see what happens. So we can probably get this thing to fire up. Hopefully, maybe. I'm gonna do this real quick and then put some gas down in that and spin it over and see what we get. Okay, see if I can fill this up with gas and hope for the best. Maybe it'll run long enough where I can come out here and mess with it a little bit. I don't know. See what that does. Hell yeah. I don't know if that carburetor is worth anything. Come on, baby. Try to fill it up with gas. Maybe do something. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Well, it runs. Well, if that carburetor's really got the carburetor probably going to be pulled apart. I'm not real sure. I think the accelerator pump's toast on it. Seems like I can't get enough gas in it or something.
shit. Yeah, I think the accelerator pump on this carburetor's too dried up to do anything. I may change the truck carburetor out and test it and see if it'll pump up anymore. And I'm gonna go ahead and just run fuel line from the gas tank and get this thing where it's sustained on its own. Get radiator in it. We getting close. I'm excited. It fired off for the first time. Cannot believe it. I even got to rev it up a little bit. That was awesome. So I hope y'all enjoyed this one. We got something accomplished finally. So not going backwards no more. Feel like we're really doing something now. So luckily the motor sounds like it ain't hurt. We did an exhaust build on this thing too. So hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all please like and subscribe and tell your friends and buds and your ex-girlfriends. I don't care who you tell, but man, I'm excited. Check out the next video to see what we can get done. Maybe we can drive this joker movie. I'm excited. So we'll catch y'all on the next one.